knowledge, love, respect, sickness, smile, strength, and weakness occupy the same apartment. They cannot be fixed successfully. Welcome to our next episode. We're going to page 10 of PMP of November 3 to 5, 2003. Good morning, bonjour, sabahul khair, kwalafia, ekaro, ansuma, dasuba. We're going to a section called, we're beginning with a section called Share a Thought. What we can learn from a dog. Interesting. I agree with him. There are thousands of things we can learn from a dog, if I'm not exaggerating. There are so many things we can learn from dogs. Loyalty being one. What we can learn from a dog? And there are many. There, you see, where look under my finger. Oh, my finger. Sorry. You see them there, like that. Never pass up the opportunity to go for a joyride. One, never pass up the opportunity to go for a joyride. Two, allow the experience of fresh air and the wind in your face to be pure ecstasy. Three, when loved ones come home, always run to greet them. That's what dogs do. Oh, people are clever. When it's in your best interest, always practice obedience. Next one, take naps and always stretch before rising. Okay. Next, run, romp, and play daily. Next, let others know when they have invaded your territory. They will warn you. Yes. Next one, eat with gusto and enthusiasm. Next one, be loyal. Next, never pretend to be something you are not. Following that, if what you want lies buried, dig until you find it. When someone is having a bad day, be silent, sit close by, and nuzzle. Next, delight in the simple joy of a long walk. Thrive on attention and let people touch you. Next, avoid biting when a simple growl will do. Yes, you just warn. Sometimes they warn, they don't bite. They just warn you first. If you are stubborn, then they meow. Avoid biting when a simple growl will do. On hot days, drink lots of water and lie under a shady tree. When you're happy, dance around and wag your entire body, especially the tail. Especially the tail is my own addition. Wag your entire body. Next, and the last. No matter how often you are criticized, don't buy into the guilt. Don't buy into the guilt thing and pout. Run right back and make friends. Pout here is spelled P-O-U-T, in case I've not pronounced it right. Then paragraph. So when it means that, so then it means that if God grants you the opportunity, don't miss it. Appreciate that opportunity and make good use of it. Every new day becomes a blessing, and so we must praise God because each morning is fresh. God gave us parents, brothers and sisters, friends. He helped us to choose ourselves and neighbors. Full stop. These people must show kindness to and make them these people we must show kindness to and make them feel happy by letting them know how much they mean to us. Obedience pays, for it is a virtue God requires of his children. If a dog, an animal, is obedient, you can imagine how much more is demanded of us. Whatever the pains or the worries of the previous day, we still must stretch them out and rise to a new morning. Don't worry, be happy, for God has the whole world in the hand, and He doesn't even worry about how to manage our naughtiness. Worry not. Paragraph. Correct anybody who goes wayward, so he or she will be on track, and be grateful for anything the Lord gives you for a meal. Being faithful is a mark of being in the Spirit. Let people know God's Spirit indwells you. Let people know God's Spirit indwells you. Be friends with people who care about you and let them enjoy being with you. Don't overdo things. Don't make mountains out of molehills. In times when things are tough, go to the springs of living water, for he will give you rest. And when times are really good, show appreciation to your Creator. Thank Him with joy in your heart. Sing praises to Him, and don't forget to dance your heart out. Take criticisms kindly and always make peace. You can do all these things if if you attune yourself to the Spirit of God and do exactly as He says. Who is the writer? The writer by Exter and Pals. Yes, people are very knowledgeable. I know somebody who can give even more than this concerning dogs. Mm. Okay. And then we have campus life. Why success eluded us? Campus life. Why success eluded us? Word had gone round the campus that the former SP had come for his results, and almost all the students had trooped to the school administration block, waiting impatiently under the forget-me-not trees to celebrate the SP's success with him. How do you know he's going to succeed? Okay, let's go. Let's walk. Let's read on Namshi. Uh, One after the other, we entered the assistant headmaster's office for our results. Soon it was my turn. Yes, come in, was the response when I knocked at the office door. I entered and gently closed the door behind me. Good morning, sir, I greeted. How are you? He inquired. I'm quite well, sir. Thank you, sir, I replied. Have a seat, please, he said. Thank you, sir, I said, taking the seat. Flipping through a wad of papers in front of him, he asked, "Your name, please?" Sumaila Soro, sir. Your name, please? Sumaila, the student, the student said, "Sumaila Suru, sir." I quickly replied, "Were you the senior prefect? Were you the senior prefect for 1995-96 academic year?" He asked. "Yes, sir," I replied promptly. "Oh boy," he exclaimed in disappointment, handing it over to me. He wished me good luck. I looked at the slip, and it was all F F. Oh my God. I looked at the flip. I looked at the slip, and it was all F, F, and F throughout. My heart throbbed in my fingers. My feet grew numb, and the whole of my body quivered with pain, and tears rolled down my cheeks in beads. The assistant headmaster, Mr. Tidu, who was transferred to the school after I had completed and left, asked me, why should the whole senior prefect fail in all the subjects? Stop sobbing and explain yourself, boy, he demanded, his gaze boring into me. Hmm. Gazing at the office ceiling, like watching or viewing a video clip, I respond. Sorry, gazing at the office ceiling and like watching a like watching or viewing a video clip, I memorized it. It all started in 1994 when I gained admission into the boarding senior secondary school to pursue general arts. On the eve of my leaving for the school, my father gave me his words of advice. You know, I am poor and can't afford to pay compensation for any damages you might have caused to someone. Shun bad companies and beware of women. As for you, I trust your manners, so there is no need talking much. Take my advice, and you shall excel or discard it as nonsense and live to regret it, he cautioned. That was before going to school. Paragraph. During my first and second years of school, I worked very hard to the extent that my colleagues and mates nicknamed me Bookworm. Yes, this is a common name in schools. All the teachers liked me for my hard work. Full stop. Juliet. The name of woman has come in. Juliet, who sat opposite to my left in the same class, was my study mate. She was good at all the subjects except English language, and I was equally not good at maths. So we shared ideas on these two subjects interchangeably. This built a very strong platonic relationship between us. Rumors started appearing in the school about an amorous relationship between us. This rumor became intensified when the two of us were voted as senior boys and girls prefects respectively. As we had to work together administratively. Paragraph. Because we did nothing of that sort, we did not bother about the rumor, even though we were both worried. The headmaster cautioned us against our alleged amorous relationship and advised us not to study or move together. Friends advised us to stay apart from each other. All fell on deaf ears. All fell on deaf ears. At this point, we felt a slur had been cast on our reputation, so we decided to do it. For after all, people had already suspected us. We started going to town without exit every night. We also attended discos and concerts on weekends. Even though we were left with barely 2 weeks to start the final exam, we were complacent that we would not fail. Before we realized the exams were a day ahead. Hmm. When I finished my story, when I finished my story, the assistant headmaster showed Juliet's results slip to me. And my God, it was nothing better than mine. It was nothing better than fail, 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 times 9 subjects, times 9 subjects. Oh my God. That is the reward for your indiscipline. Massive failure for indiscipline. Massive failure, the head concluded in a mocking tone a flood of that induced a flood of tears which rivered down my cheeks like Niagara Falls by Yahya Ibrahim Idi. Sad, pathetic, isn't it? Okay, we go to the next story. It happened to me. We've done the half of the paper. We're going to the left hand half of the paper. We're going to the right hand half of it. Prayer in the jungle. Prayer in the jungle. I was on my way home from a trading trip. I had sold all, I had sold more this time than before. Now with my hard-earned money, safety locked into a fold of my dress. Mhm. Safety locked into a fold of my dress. I happily made my way along the forest path. I was so happy. In fact, I walked through the path. In fact, as I walked through the path, I sang a song in my own West African language, a song about Jesus, which I learned at the Christian school I attended. Uh, on and on I walked, and as I came nearer to the end of the forest path, I was happier, I thought, than I had ever been. Till suddenly, dash. No, it wasn't a wild animal, such as a snake or a lion, which I saw, but a huge, strong man coming towards my direction. Coming towards my direction. Uh, for a moment, I wondered what I could do. Should I turn around and run away? No, besides being besides being coward would be of besides no, sorry, full stop. Besides being coward would be of no use because if the man wanted to harm me, he would give me a hot cheese and soon catch up with me. I decided to go on. I decided to go on. But when I was few yards away from the man, I stopped politely off the path to let him pass. But that wasn't what he wanted. He commanded me, and he moved over till he stood right in my way. I was frightened. So I asked, "What do you want?" The answer was simple, "Just what you thought it would be." And it sent fear through my heart. "Your money," the man demanded. But I pleaded, "I can't let you have it. My family need my family needs it badly. Anyway, I want anyway. So anyway, I went on, hardly not knowing what to say. Let me repeat that. "I can't let you have it. My family needs it badly." Anyway, I went on, hardly not knowing what to say. I told him the money was not enough, even to feed my family. "Never mind about that. Hand it over to me right now," he demanded. "Please, no," I, I pleaded again, hoping that if I kept the man talking long enough, someone might come along to help me. "Please let me keep it. It's all I have got." And then I began, I began to cry. Sorry, and then I began to cry. Quickly, the man still demanded. Being impatient at the delay, shouted, "Give it to me now." But I suggested there was one more thing I could do. I remembered what my teacher at the mission school told me, that if anytime I was in danger or in any trouble, I could always pray to Jesus for help. He would never fail to hear my prayer. This for sure was a time of real danger. What could he do for me now? Certainly, there was nothing else I could do. Jesus was the only one who could help me. "Yes," I said to the robber, "you can have my money in just a minute, if I may do one thing first." "Well, what is that?" He, he replied, getting very impatient now. "I want to kneel down and speak to Jesus first, just for a minute. May I?" I wondered what the man would say. Almost to my surprise, he said, "Go on." Then, but be quick about it. Oh my God. He said, "But be quick about it." So there on the jungle path, with the robber standing in front of me, I knelt, closed my eyes, and prayed to Jesus. What I said and closed to Jesus. What I said, nobody knows, but I only said a few short sentences. Then I heard some noise about someone moving, and in a terror, I opened my eyes. To my amazement, the robber was running away as quickly as he could. Whatever had happened, that whatever had happened that he should do such a strange thing. I stood up and looked in the other direction. Then I saw what the robber had seen, just a hunter crossing the path with a gun under his arm. Maybe the robber had thought that this man with a gun was coming to protect me. And so this day, and to this day, I still believe that God sent the hunter as an answer to my prayer, just to scare the robber. I now have a strong relationship with God, and I trust only Him, for all my needs. Jesus never fails. By Emmanuel Ahaziah. By Emmanuel Ahaziah. Wonderful, isn't it? Or miraculous. Yes, miraculous. But the faith that people have helps them in times of danger. Whether Muslim or Christian. Whatever faith you have will help you in times of danger. We go to the last story. Uh, Wickedness Peace, Part 2. We missed Part 1, but we can still read Part 2. It will still be of value to us. Okay, continued from Thursday's issues. Okay. When he was returning from his journey, he involved he was involved in an accident. He was thinking about where his children could have gone to, and he dozed off behind the steering wheel while he was descending from a bridge. Full stop. His car skidded off the bridge and somersaulted, crashing downward. Oh, it was a very fatal accident, but fortunately, there were no cars. But fortunately, there were no cars coming when it occurred. He was in a very bad condition and could possibly have lost his life. He was he was lost uh, he was lost more blood and needed to be taken to a hospital on time. I think he had lost. I want to put had and said lost and was. So let me correct it. He had lost more blood and needed to be taken to a hospital on time. And needed to be taken to hospital on time. Suddenly, a taxi driver arrived on the spot and quickly rushed down the bridge to rescue him and sent him to hospital. He even deposited his own money at the hospital in order for any medical attention to be given to my father. He also donated blood to save my father because they belonged to the same oh they belong to the same blood group. No, it should be they. Because they belonged, let me correct, because they belonged to the same blood group. Fortunately or unfortunately, when my father gained consciousness, he realized that he had been saved by someone he had been wicked to some time ago when he came to ask for money to start his business. Paragraph. From what happened, one would expect my father to turn over a new leaf and ask the driver for forgiveness, but rather, he said he was not going to beg or thank the driver for saving his life. He even swore not to pay him the cost he incurred in helping him receive medical attention. Oh, paragraph. He said he did not beg the driver to take him to the hospital and that he was too rich to be saved by a poor man. Abba. Okay. How on earth can a human be that wicked? The doctor and the nurses around tried to convince him to at least pay the driver his money, but it was to no avail. The driver had no option but to assume the money had been used for God's work. Yes. Later, when my father was issued with the medical bills, he signed a check and asked one of the nurses to go and cash it at the bank. The nurse later returned, claiming the check had been refused. She went on further to say that the bank manager claimed he had no money in his account. Thus, all the money he had saved had been withdrawn 2 weeks before that day. On hearing this, he died instantly of a heart attack. Oh. Paragraph. For some months now, I have never been to the bank to withdraw, but always to deposit money. How then could all my money be withdrawn in just a week? And who could have done that? I suspect his goose must have asked himself. I suspect his goose must have asked himself. That's the father's goose. My father was lying dead alone on the hospital bed without any money, buildings, or cars. Out of his hundreds of clothing, he out of his hundreds of clothing, he would be wearing only one to his grave. To me, things became completed when my mom was also knocked down by a car and she was rushed to the hospital after she heard of her husband's death. Oh, let me take that again. To me, things became completely completed when my mom was also knocked down by a car and she was rushed to the hospital after she heard of her husband's death. Two wicked people, two wicked people to bury. What sort of English is this? Let me put B there. There's no B. Two wicked people to be buried together without their wealth. A punishment enough for them. I was very sad to see food and drinks being wasted because of them on the funeral day. What really did what really did it? What really did it profit any wicked person for gaining the whole world and then losing their souls? Nothing. Few weeks after the death of my parents, the deaths of my wicked siblings, the deaths of my wicked sibling were also, what I read there. I'm reading what I see. Uh, uh, whether it's correct or not, I don't know. The death of my wicked sibling were also aired. They were murdered by robbers in cold blood. They also died leaving behind the wealth they had run away with. Oh, would they have died if they stayed here in Ghana? In true fact, I regret ever being born into such a wicked and bad family. But to my fellow man, poverty, they say, is not a disgrace, but inconvenience. I love that. Poverty is not a disgrace, but inconvenience. Talk of my parents' poverty. Talk of my parents' property. I will sell them and give the money orphans who, there's no two there. Let me fix it there. And give the money to orphans who need help and hospitals that need equipment and expansion as well. Now my life is a happier one than when I was swimming in what I would call wicked riches. I first asked God for forgiveness for taking part in any for taking part in their wicked act earlier. I think they really observed their death. Sorry, I think they really deserved. I think I think they really deserved their death for not listening to me. May they have a good lead in hell and also enjoy the bitterness over over there till we meet again. Oh, the end. But anyway, I don't like the end because he shouldn't pray for the father against the father. He should have prayed for God to have mercy on the father rather. Who knows? And that will rather help the father. So the end is no good. No good, Bajo. We shall end here, viewers, and then it's a very sad story. One family member losing all family members like that, and because of their wickedness. Very sad story. Uh, the next one that is about love, heart to heart, and then thyroid, Sagittarius, and what not, love compatibility, and that's page 11. That's characteristic of page 11 on this paper. When we come back, we'll skip it and go to page 12. You and your health, the doctor and the lawyer. I've been very sad for the past story. Anyway, thank you very much. Bye bye. God bless.